Hey, crafty friends, I have a fun, budget-friendly Dollar Tree themed make for you today. We're going to make these fun journals. They take less than 10 minutes, under $3. You can make a bunch of them in different sizes, and you are not going to believe how easy these are. So come join me on the craft desk and let's get making.
In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
All right, crafty friends. So I was in the Dollar Tree today, and I always go to the card aisle. It's my favorite aisle because there's so much there that you can use in your journals. I did a previous video using a greeting card and some wrapping paper, and we made some fun elements to put in our junk journals. But today we're going to make a journal just like this, just using greeting cards and some of the notebooks and journals that you can find now at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if these were always there, at least not this variety. I even found like this 3-pack for $1.25, and I thought, what a fun way to make like a set of 3. But today we're going to make one like this. So this is just a bullet journal that I got. I wrapped it with some cardstock and I stuck a card on the front. It doesn't get any easier than that, guys. This one is a faith-based journal. This one is just a blank journal. And look at the inside of this one. $1.25. And this one has lines in it like a regular notebook. They had so many. I could have bought so many. And then the cards, I just bought cards that I thought would work as either that you could cut out the letters or that you could use them as a cover, right? So not every card would work as a cover, as a journal cover. So I kind of picked some that I thought, like, if I had this on a journal cover, would it look like a greeting card? So you know how they always have like little verses sometimes on the greeting cards? Well, I tried to find some. Look at that one for a wedding. Like if you wanted to do a wedding journal, how fun would that be? So like this one, you could definitely put that on a journal and it wouldn't look like a greeting card. Maybe it would now that you know it's a greeting card, but if you didn't know it was a greeting card. This one, look at this one with all the pretty sparkles. There's not even a word on here. You could put a journal plate on the front of this one. Warmly, happily, gratefully. That would make a perfect journal cover for autumn. And then I got these Christmas ones. Now this one has the little, I don't think like I would keep this on here, but I thought I could cut around and just take out like a square of this and use it on the front of a journal. This one totally could use that as a Christmas journal. This, I thought it would be cool if I could just cut out just this accent piece and put that on the front of a journal. This would be a perfect journal cover. The butterflies. Look at this guy, same thing. Like this has the words on the front. I wouldn't keep these. I would either cut it off here, and I would actually save this because you could use this on it as well, and then cut that out. So I'm going to do that. Same here. You could leave it like this, blessings upon blessings upon blessings. That would be a perfect journal cover to use. And then this one would too. I mean, I think that you could definitely turn all of these in. So I looked specifically for journals, for cards that would work as journal covers. And so this card had nothing on it and it was just blank. And I thought, wow, that is so cool. And this bullet journal is perfect. So look at that perfect little journal. And look, if you have some bits around, you could decorate the front even further. I thought I could put like maybe a little doily there. And then I have these butterflies. I could just put a little butterfly on there. You know, just find one that would match. All right, that's the video. You can go now. Just kidding. We're going to make one of these. If you have a cricket or a silhouette, you could kind of do something like that. I just cut out words and then I did an outline and cut that out, and that would go right there. I also, if you're a card maker, you might have some sentiments. I just stamped a sentiment on the envelope. And I'm not a good stamper, so I had to do it a couple of times. But this was the envelope for the card, and I just used it and it matched, and I found some complementing cardstock to put under it, but you could just put this on the front, like maybe raise it up a little bit, and how cute would that be? Maybe a ribbon. You tie a little bow around the card before you glue it down. All right, let's make one. I'm chatting. All right, let's get making. So I have my little book here, and it is, I think it's 5.5 by, let's see, 5.5 by 8 and an eighth, and like a hair over an eighth. And then, yeah, 5.5. So first I'm going to cut the 8 and 1/8 and a hair side. It's, I just want to get it kind of exact. So 8 and an eighth, and I'm just going to go a little over that eighth. And then just cut it right in half, because this is 8.5 by 11 at 5.5. And that'll give me my front and back cover here. Okay. And then for the spine, I have a fun idea. I need a little glue. And if you do inking or sewing, you could, do a little sewing on the front if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but I thought for the spine, rather than cut another piece, which you could certainly do, and then kind of layer it over like that, I'm going to use some washi tape. Why not? I thought that would be fun. So I have this card here, and I thought that this washi tape right here would be perfect. That's what I'm going to do. And get me a piece of that and make it just a bit longer and cut it. And I'm going to lay that down before I put my covers on, but I'm going to put a little glue because it's washi tape, and it doesn't always stick the way you want it to. I hope you guys are having a good crafty day and are excited for this video. I love the Dollar Tree, and even though they raised their prices a bit and they're not $1 anymore, I still find some amazing stuff in there all the time when I go in. You just kind of got to go in with a crafty brain. That's what you got to do. Okay, this might fall down, so I'm not going to put glue on that side. But I want it to kind of hang over these a little on each side. I think I got to come this way a little more. You're not going to see this butt on the spine, so it doesn't matter if it's super straight, which is good because I can't do that. I'm sure I could, but I'm always moving at 50 miles an hour, so it used to be 100 miles an hour, but I slowed down a little. All right. So there we go. Very pretty, right? We've gotten away from that very bold yellow, which is fine, and maybe you love it. All right, let me just clean that up a little. Baby wipe, just so I'm not getting it everywhere as I'm trying to cut it. All right, and then I will take my gluey scissors . I'm getting a little involved, but you can literally make these just by covering it with your cardstock and throwing the card on the top. I mean, it's that simple. And you can make them as complex as you want. So if you want to sew and add all sorts of decorations and glitzy glam, you can. All right, so that's that. And then we have this piece that is going to go here. All of a sudden, it doesn't want to fit right now. It's okay. It's all good. Nobody's going to even really see that, and I could cover it with a little washi if I wanted to, but for the sake of this video, it's not perfectly measured, but we're going to get it down. You'll get the idea, right? Besides, I thought I'd use this as my own little idea book. I always have notebooks around everywhere in every room because I'm constantly coming up with ideas and I want to get them down. So if I have one in the bedroom and one next to my desk, and I have one down here, actually I have a couple down here because I keep track of names on my lives and my friends and emailing and ideas. By the way, if you're new here, you might want to check out those lives. They're every Friday at noon Eastern here on the channel. You can kind of join me and we do a fun little make or project, and we all get to chat and catch up and see what everybody's doing. It's super fun and everybody's super friendly. All right, so we can see a little yellow. That's okay. I'm not that worried about it because the card has some yellow and stuff in it. All right, flip it over. And then I thought we'd do another one if you want to stick around for that, but you don't have to. You kind of get the idea here, right? Think of how many you can make, and they're great little gifts. And who doesn't need a notebook, right? Or a journal for the new year, or whenever. You know, starting a new year because you just turned a new age. Those are fun too. There's always a reason. There's always a reason we need a new something. Okay. So that's that. I'm using my Fabrifix, but you could certainly just use a tape runner or, you know, whatever wet glue you have. And then we have our card, which is going to go on the front. I am going to trim it down a bunch because I want to show a little of that purple around the outside. And this one pretty much goes end to end. So I'm going to take a little off the back. I got to take the back off anyway. Save this because you can use these other pieces. Never throw away a good piece of cardstock. All right, let's take a little off the top. Let's see where we end up. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Actually, I might take a little more off the back. Perfect. If you have a little bow, you could put a little bow down here. We could put some, let's do that. Let's put some pretty brads in the corners. I have some different color ones. Maybe these orange ones would be fun. I think they're more like a peach, and they have little flowers on them. Okay, we'll use those 4. And I will get a little hole punch, but if you could use a crocodile or something. I have a little 1/8 hole punch, so that should work fine. And we'll just try to get them all about the same in the corner. Eyeball it, so it's probably not, we know it's not going to be perfect. Who are we kidding? It's all good, guys. It's handmade. It's a handmade gift. Look, we need to save a little money this year, right? Those tariffs are making everything more expensive. So we got to get creative. And why not this? So we might have to be a little... Now you could put anything there in the corners. You don't even need a brad. You could just put a little hand punched, maybe have a dragonfly punch or a heart-shaped punch. You could use something like that. Oh, how cute. And it looks so unique. Nobody's going to know that this was a greeting card unless you tell them. And if you're better at covering than I am, these would also make a great craft fair idea. They'd make a great little craft fair item. They would go together really quick. And you can make a bunch of them. I think you could sell this for $10, maybe 15. Depends where you are, right? Know your crowd, know your audience. And if you spend a little more time just, doing a couple of simple things like adding a ribbon or maybe some fabric flowers or something like that, you could dress them up and they'd sell even more. And you could package them. Ooh, hello. You could package them with something else from the Dollar Tree, like a beauty item, a face mask, a candy. Put them in a little ribbon, tied together. How fun would that be? Who wouldn't want that? Look at that. How pretty is that? And you can, like I said, you can cut your paper a little better. I'm kind of going fast for you guys, but this is for me, and I'm going to be me and do and celebrate me. Why not? Okay, let's do another one. I want to do this one. I love the inside of this, and I thought, why don't we cover this one with a grocery bag? It's free. We all have them, or we have Amazon paper, which is pretty much the same thing, right? If you get like an Amazon package and you save that brown paper. And if not, just duck into your local grocery store and just buy a bag. They're 10 cents or something if you don't have any. A lot of times we get bags too, with like when we purchase a little gift, we can get a little gift bag. You could also use coffee dyed paper. I think that would be good. I have this, so this is just a shopping bag, and I covered it with my grungy paint. It's a mixture I use to grunge up some papers, and there's a video for it on my channel. If I can think about it, I'll link it here somewhere or down in the description box. But I am going to, because of like this on the inside, I thought this would be cool on the outside. Plus I love grungy. So what's the best section? Maybe here, so I don't get that factory fold. And I'll do it this way. So this is my front. So let's see. I need a piece that is, sometimes it's better to measure in centimeters too. All right. It's little under 7, so it's like 6 and 15/16. Of course, it can't be anything easy. Let's see, centimeters. Yeah, I'll just go with the 15. The inches rather. So 6. What did I say? 6 and 15/16, and this way is 5. And I need, I think that's about 3/8. So 5 and 3/8 and another 5, so 10 and 3/8. So, yep, it's going to fit in here. Let's get a straight edge first. Doesn't matter where, just need a straight edge. And then I'm going to need to cut a little off. It really don't matter. All right, and then let me get my 10 I need a bigger desk. So I need 10 3/8. So I'm going to go over that because I also got to cut a straight edge on the other side. So 10, go up here, I'll be good. Okay, so now we can do 10 3/8. And so from there to there is 10 3/8, so that should wrap around. And it does. And then 6 7/8. So let's go up to a little over 7 to start. Actually, I'm going to do this here because I want this bigger piece. So I have a straight edge here. All right. So there we go. I might have to trim it a teeny tiny little bit, but that's fine. Oh, how cool is that? I love it. Okay, so where are we? Okay. I'm going to round these corners. Let me see if I have one that will match. I think I do. Let me try this one. Perfect. I put it in the bigger one and it seemed like it had too much room, so that works great. There we go. So just, work with what materials you have, and then just take good measurements, unlike I do with the first one. Look, we're not robots. I know I'm not. I don't think so. I'm going to put this all on and glue it down this, and then the other side, and then I'll just trim off because I see like I'm going to need a hair. I'll trim it off and do my corners before I glue the whole thing down. So I'm going to do the spine. And again, I'm using the Fabrifix because this one has a, just going to go down a little here. It has kind of like a faux leather cover. So, and I just glued it to my desk. You saw that, right? Of course you did. You're like, silly girl. That's okay. Where's that wipe? Completely forgot I put glue on that side. It's all good. It's all good. All right. That's nice and even. Scoot that up a little. Wrap this around. Get my spackle knife. Kind of get everything down nice and strong. Make sure it's really adhered. And then pulling this around. Now, do you have to go covering journals? Can't you just hand them out the way they are? Of course you can. Of course you can. But when we hand this to somebody, we can say we handmade it. They're going to be like, really? Your stitching has gotten so good. All right, so you can see I have like a hair there I want to trim off. So I'm going to get my little cutting mat, Dollar Tree also. And you can get these and you can get everything except the glue. And just make sure that's nice and tight. All right, I'm just going to add a bit more glue. I don't want to glue it all the way because I got to trim around the corners. And I don't want to glue it closed. Don't glue it closed. Okay. And I want to carefully trim down that edge. It's very hard to see with the camera in front of me. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay. All right, and then of course, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So we did that. We did that. This one's taking a little longer, but like I said, you can do them super quick or you can take a little longer. You know, if you're doing them for a craft fair, maybe you want to do them super quick and just get a bunch done so you get them all wrapped up. But think of how many you could do. And if you sold them, that's like a crazy profit. If you sold them for like $10, that is a pretty good day at the craft fair. Ah, top. There we go. Take your time, make it pretty. Let's ink it up a little because that's what I like to do. And then I think I have the perfect card for the front of this. Make sure all your glue is down and dried. Good, good. I need a little more in here. I'm actually going to use this here because I can get it in the tight spot. I think it'll be fine. I have some of that other glue in there, so. All right, we're going to go. Now you could cut this paper and get it all the way you want it and then sew around it before you glue it down. That would be fun. But this, look how cool this looks. Looks like fake leather. That's why I love the grungy paint, because it's just so fun. Really make it look like a leather bound journal. Just a paper bag. This is also helping me get the glue down. All right, I have the perfect card for this one. If you didn't have a card, you could just use some of the stuff from your stash, right? But I think I want this guy because he's so cute. I'm just going to, let me cut this off of here first so I can get a straight line. Yeah, save these. I'm just going to cut this off. You could save the sentiment if you want it for another greeting card you're making, or put it on the inside. I want to cut this out, and I think I'm going to go a little like wonky just because this circle is going to be, you know, not a perfect circle. So when I get to a leaf, I'm just going to kind of jump my scissors a little. If it was a perfect circle, I'd just try to cut it as close as I could to the edge, which I wouldn't do because I'm just really not good at cutting a straight line. If you have a brother print and cut, or a brother scan and cut rather, and you can actually get it to work, not like me, maybe you could use that to cut it out. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have one, if you think that would work. The other thing I was thinking is if, like, on that first one I had with the flowers, if you buy two of the same card, you could cut components out of one and then use that to make like a 3D effect on the front. I was thinking of it after I had gotten everything home, and I wish I had more foresight, more forethought to do that, because I thought that would be pretty, but I didn't. Because I wasn't thinking that far ahead. Look at him. This is really out there. I get in a little closer. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at him. He's so darn cute. Okay. Oh, let's get a doily and put a doily under him. Okay, I only had a big one, but if you had a little one, that would be cute. All right, so nah, I can't make it work. All right, we're just going to use this guy. I am going to ink him up. Just kind of make the whole thing kind of look. And he's got a little sparkle on him too. How fun is that? He's got his little cart of apples. It's perfect for autumn. Can be our planner for the fourth quarter. I love him. He's adorable. He's going down. Like that. There we go. And then, can I put this here? I could kind of put that there with a little word. All right, I have these words. Yeah, I was looking to see if there was anything I could cut out of that. That's fine. I think I'm just going to do Junkie Journal because I have it here. I'll just scrunch it up a little. And we'll put it on this strip. Cut more. You can kind of do something like that. How cute is that? I'm going to get a couple of brads. Probably put them in the end. Let me see, actually, this one's a little longer. Might work better for me. Yeah, I'll use this one. I'm going to ink that word. Just going to cut this a little straighter. Just a hair. Oh, no, it was probably fine. I don't know, it's always me. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Let me ink these. This is so cute. Who wouldn't love to get this? Now again, you could do something like this. This is not the color for this, but that would look really cute too, in like an orange and a red or a maroon or something. And if you have something where you can emboss it, that would be even more spectacular. Or you could just add some glitter to match this. I'm not a fan of glitter. As you know, if you have been here before, these would look cute in like the corners. So that's what I'm going to do. No one's ever going to think that this isn't handmade. How many of these could you make in an hour? Drop a comment below and let me know. I can make one. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas. So let's do it on this side. Maybe I have a better chance of getting the center. Look. How darn cute. Oh my goodness. It's just a greeting card and a journal from the Dollar Tree, but you'd never know. How adorable. I love it. I am so in love with this. Somebody said in my comments the other day, I love your enthusiasm because I'm so excited. I see all these possibilities and I just get really excited. And you know, I've been there where you're like, I don't think I can buy one more gift for that person at the office or my mail lady or whatever. But or mailman, whatever you have. I have a mail lady. That's why I said mail lady. But look at that. How cute. How cute, guys. Okay. That's the video. So we've got this guy. We got this gal. I think I want to finish this one. I'm thinking that. What do you think? Just going to raise it up a little. I have some kitty foam here. Get some kitty craft foam. Go get yourself a pack of this. I think it was like a couple of bucks, and I'll have it forever. Put this on the back there and there. If you have foam tape, use that. I have foam tape, but I like to use this because it's super cheap. And it does glue down well with my art glitter glue and my Fabrifix and my PVA, so it works really, really well. It's not too big that it's going to bother me when I open the journal. But like I said, if you bought another one of these, you could definitely fussy cut out this or this, you know, whatever's a whole flower, and use them to to make it a 3D effect. That would be super fun. I really wish I would have thought of that next time. We know I'll be back. And then I had this in my stash. So, I'll put him here. Keep his little wings up. And he's all done. Look at that. So we got 3 different looks. Super fun and super cheap. So I love the Dollar Tree. Thanks for playing with me today in the studio, guys. If you're new here, think about subscribing and hitting that bell so you know when I post a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, all night. Bye.